Gregor Mendel, often referred to as the father of modern genetics, was an Austrian scientist and Augustinian friar whose groundbreaking work laid the foundation for the field of genetics. Born on July 20th, 1822, in Heinzendorf, Austrian Silesia, now Hinchitz, Czech Republic, Mendel's early life was spent in a rural farming family. His keen interest in nature and agriculture led him to pursue studies in philosophy, physics, and mathematics at the University of Vienna. Mendel's most significant contributions to science came from his meticulous experiments with pea plants, Pisum sativum, in the monastery garden in Brno, then part of the Austrian Empire, now in the Czech Republic, between 1856 and 1863. Through these experiments, Mendel developed the fundamental principles of heredity, now known as Mendelian inheritance. Key contributions and discoveries. 1. Law of segregation. Mendel's first law states that each organism carries two alleles for each trait, which segregate during gamete formation, ensuring that offspring receive one allele from each parent. This law explains why traits can reappear in subsequent generations even if they were not expressed in the parents. 2. Law of independent assortment. Mendel's second law states that alleles for different traits are distributed to sex cells and offspring, independently of one another. This principle explains the genetic variation seen in offspring. 3. Dominant and recessive traits. Mendel discovered that traits are not blended, but instead are inherited as discrete units. He identified dominant and recessive alleles, where dominant traits mask the presence of recessive ones in heterozygous organisms. Experimental approach. Mendel's approach was methodical and statistical. He chose pea plants because they have easily observable traits, such as flower color and seed shape, a relatively short generation time, and the ability to self-pollinate, as well as cross-pollinate. By analyzing the inheritance patterns over several generations, Mendel was able to deduce the ratios that formed the basis of his laws. Legacy and recognition. Despite the significance of his work, Mendel's contributions were not recognized during his lifetime. His research was published in 1866 in the Proceedings of the Natural History Society of Brünn, but it went largely unnoticed by the scientific community. It wasn't until the early 20th century, after his death on January 6, 1884, that his work was rediscovered by scientists like Hugo de Vries, Karl Correns, and Erich von Tschermak, who confirmed and extended Mendel's findings. Today, Gregor Mendel is celebrated as a pioneer of genetics, and his work remains a cornerstone of the field. His principles of inheritance are fundamental to our understanding of genetic processes and have paved the way for advances in genetic research, biotechnology, and medicine.